Hello, very good evening to all of you. Welcome, ma'am. Now we are live on YouTube as well. And, and we are good to go.
Okay, so shall I start?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Hello, students. Welcome to live sessions at SuperProfs. We are going to start with the session right now. And today we are addressing CMA intermediate student with respect to paper number 8, cost accounting. I am Priyanka Shrivastava. I'll be your mentor for this particular subject and will going to guide you with respect to what is the syllabus of the subject, how we need to proceed about that subject, and some tips and tricks that will going to help you to clear the paper with the good marks to get an exemption in the paper. And also it will going to, I'm going to share you the paper pattern, that is the latest paper pattern, online paper pattern, and also we're going to discuss bits and pieces of offline paper pattern that we used to have. Why we are discussing that? Because many of students are sitting for online paper for the first time and June attempt. So that's why I want, basically they should know that how the paper used to come, from where the questions come. So because we don't have so much data for online paper pattern, we just have only one attempt for that. So that's why we will discuss offline paper pattern also. Okay, so let's proceed. First of all, let us see the syllabus. What is your syllabus? So in your syllabus, we have 14 chapter. Your syllabus is comprised of two parts, mainly theory and practical. And the theory chapters that you have is chapter number 1, introduction to cost accounting standards, and cost bookkeeping. Other than that, also we have various practical chapters, but in that, from that practical chapters also you might expect some of the theory questions. So like the chapters you have material cost, employee cost, direct expenses, overheads, methods of costing, which comprise of job and batch costing, contract costing, process costing, joint and byproducts, service costing, marginal costing, standard costing, and budget and budgetary control. So you have a huge subject, huge syllabus. So we need to tighten up our shoes to basically complete this syllabus very smoothly. If you take our classes, you'll get all the chapters with you and we will be covering entire syllabus. Okay, moving forward, what is your paper pattern? I've already told you your total marks. Your paper consists of 100 marks and that is divided into two parts, theory and practical. So in theory, minimum theory, basically the mandatory theory that you can expect is of 25 marks. So 25 marks theory questions you can expect, which is a compulsory question where you don't get any option. So at least 25 marks question you can expect from theory, which is mandatory. In that you will not going to get any option. And if you see the total paper, the total paper 30 to 40 marks will come from theory part. Some of the question may come in the optional part. Okay, but still theory plays a major role. Why I'm pressurizing towards theory? Because when you want to score good mark or when you want to be in a good position, your theory should be prepared well. So what we do is we basically take the theory chapters also, and while doing the practical chapters, we take the concept, we explain you the theory, then we'll read the theory together, and then we'll go towards practical. What happened with that is your formula will get clear, your concept will get clear, and your theory will get completed. So that is our approach towards the theory part. Now coming to practical, we'll discuss lots and lots of questions in the classes. We cover study material question, we cover the scanner questions, and we give you various homeworks which are not new questions, which are similar or identical questions which we have already discussed in the class. You will get lots and lots of questions in your notes along with the solution, apart from whatever we discussed in the class. So whatever notes will be provided to you will be sufficient for you to practice for the examination. Okay, now moving forward, first look at the offline paper pattern. Basically especially for those guys who are going to appear for the first time as in CMA inter examination. So in the old paper pattern, that was the offline paper pattern, we were having 8 questions, and the question number 1 comprises of 4 parts A, B, C, D, which consist of 25 marks, and these were the mandatory question, and these complete A part was coming from theory part. So you can see that theory is 25 marks. Theory is mandatory for you guys. You need to answer 25 mark theory questions mandatorily. Okay. And from question number 2 to question number 8, out of this 7 questions, you have to attempt only 5. And most of these questions are practical. Only the two question comes from theory, which can be deemed as optional. But again, if you don't know any practical question, suppose some tough question come, or if you are appearing any practical question, what might happen is sometimes you get the answer wrong, and at that moment of time you don't have the time to basically redo the question once again. So at that moment of time the theory will be a backup for you. So I'm not saying to leave practical. We'll do practical is the main important thing of your syllabus, but the theory will going to give you a comfort of clearing the paper, of getting the exemption in the paper. So both the parts are equally important. That is what my message is. Okay. Moving forward, coming to online paper pattern, which is your current paper pattern, and this analysis I had derived from the paper that has come in the December 2021 attempt. Okay, on the basis of that, I had determined this particular analysis for you guys, and here is the analysis that your paper is divided into 4 parts: section A, section B, section C, and section D. Section A consists of MCQs, that is your objective questions, okay, in which you will get 20 questions in your question paper, 1 mark each, which comprises of 20 marks, and 90% of this section will come from theory part. Okay. Section B deals with fill in the blanks, where you need to just write a phrase or a word in the fill in the blanks question. Okay, and in the MCQ there are 4 options given, out of which one of the options you need to choose. Okay, now in fill in the blanks part, again you will be getting 20 questions, 1 mark each, and that comprises of 20 marks. Okay, coming to section C, which is practical question, and again section B is complete theory questions. You will be getting only theory questions. Most of the questions will be theory question in the section B part also. Okay, so you can see around 30 to 40 marks is coming as a theory question. Now coming to section C, it is your practical questions that will be coming in this. This part comprises of 48 marks, in which there are 6 questions, out of which you need to answer 4 questions, which consists of 12 marks each. And each question will be having a sub question, like question A, suppose section C, question number 4, subsection A, subsection B, subsection C, and subsection D. Each may consist of 2 marks, 4 marks, 6 marks, like that. Okay. Then in each question, what will happen, that how you need to solve the practical, that is the biggest question, biggest fear in the minds of student. So what you need to do, suppose a question came that prepared trading and P&L of that particular account or a business. So what you need to do, you need to prepare it in a worksheet. In sub question A, B, C, they will ask like answer net profit or answer your opening stock of goods, or answer your COGS, amount of COGS. So what you need to enter in your online paper, just the amount of net profit, just the amount of opening stock, just the amount of cost of goods sold. Now, how you will determine the amount? By following the procedure that we have learned in the class, that how to solve a particular question. You need to prepare all those tables, all those accounts in your rough sheets and derive the answer, and you just need to fill the answer in that particular space given. So again, your one more big doubt is clear, that you don't need to type so much in your paper. Typing is not that much required. The thing is that you need to prepare in a similar way as far as practical question concerned. as you used to do in your paper in the previously, that you just need to prepare in a similar manner. What you need to do, you just need to upload the answers in the examination, and you don't need to upload the whole basically your format or something, but you need to prepare that also in order to derive that answer. So where you're going to prepare it in the rough sheet. Okay, now as far as section A and B concerned, in case of theory, you need to refer your study material. You need to refer each and every point of your theory. This is a slightly tough thing for you now, because you need to learn line by line, because from any line they can ask any MCQ questions or fill in the blanks, and you need to write the answer to the point. You cannot write stories here. You need to write the answer to the point. Okay, and coming to case section D, that will be a case-based question, case study-based question. Only one question will be there, which comprises of 12 marks, and this one question may also consist of sub marks. Hello. We need to proceed with that accordingly. We need to prepare that accordingly. So you no need to change any approach in case of practical part. What you need to do is focus bit more on theory in the way in which I have already told. Okay, moving forward. Now we'll see that from which chapters basically the questions were coming previously in offline paper pattern. Why we are discussing it here? Because we don't have much data about the online papers. We just have a one attempt data, and from that we can't derive anything. So on the basis of the previous data available for offline paper, we are assuming that things will be coming in online paper as well. Okay, so in previous pattern, question number 1 to question number D, question number 1A to question number 1D, you will be getting theory question mostly from cost accounting standards, cost bookkeeping, introduction to cost accounting. Okay, coming from question number 2A, B, what you will be getting question from? You will getting question from material, labor plus overheads, that is your elements of cost. From that chapter you will be going to get some question in case of question number 2. For question number 3 will come from cost accounting standards and cost bookkeeping. Question number 4 will come from job, batch or process costing. Question number 5 will come from service and contract costing, and question number 6 will come from marginal costing, and question number 7 will come from standard costing and budget and budgetary control. So what I can see here is we cannot leave anything. Everything is important. The question might come from any of the part of in the examination, but what we can conclude here, that these 4 chapters, contract costing, marginal costing, standard costing, budget and budgetary control, will come around for 40 marks in your paper. So these are the most important chapters. And also one more trick that I'm going to share you is that these 3 chapters consist of 30 marks in the cost accounting paper in group 1 and cost and management accounting and financial management subject in group 2. So if you do this from here, these 3 chapters that I take in class, I take in same manner that I take in cost and management accounting and financial management. Why? Because from here only those students who are preparing for both the groups, both the chapters, all the 3 chapters will be prepared on both the side, and all these 3 chapters comprises of 30 marks in that particular subject also. So by preparing these 3 subjects here, you will be done with 3 chapters there also. Okay, so that is how we need to strategize our things so that we can complete our syllabus on time and we can get and strength over other students. Okay, so this kind of tips and tricks will be shared in the classes. Okay, and now there are certain other things that I'm going to discuss, that how you need to prepare, make your strategy in order to clear the paper. So first you need to complete full syllabus. Whatever important and everything I have shared is given just so that you can prioritize your thing. But first of all, the very first step you need to do is complete your entire syllabus. How you are going to do it? you need to take your classes regularly. It's not that you take one class today and one class after 2 weeks. This will not going to help. You need to take classes on a regular basis. Then you need to do your homework and revisions. Whatever is given in the class, you need to do the homework. You need to appear for whatever questions which is given in the class. If you get any doubt, you can ask, and you need to revise the lecture after watching it within 24 hours of watching the lecture before moving towards next lecture. Okay, and you need to complete all your classes, not with respect to only this subject, for all the subject at least 2 months before the exams, so that you have enough time to revise for it. So you need to strategize your schedule, your timetable accordingly, so that your classes gets completed on time. Okay, so why we need this 2 months time? Because we need to do at least 3 revisions before the examination. So one first revision will require at least 1 month time, and other 2 revisions you need to do in the last month. So in the time of revision, what chapters you need to prioritize, what you should less prioritize, we are going to discuss that also. So let us see the categories of chapter. I have divided into 3 parts, A, B, C. A is the most important chapter, which consists of 60 to 70% of your paper. Category B comes to 10 to 20% of your paper, and category C chapter consists of 5 to 10% of your chapter of your paper. So that's how I have divided. So especially at the last day revision or second or third revision, what you can do, you can give more priority to category A chapter, which includes employee labor cost, process costing, direct expenses, overheads, cost sheet, operating costing, which includes particularly transport, hotel, and hospital. Then contract costing, and I've already discussed marginal costing, standard costing, and variance analysis, budget and budgetary control. So these are your category A chapter. And one more important chapter which I had put in category B is introduction to cost accounting, but it is important, but I had put it in category B. The reason is it is a pure theoretical based question, and if you revise it very much earlier, you will not going to retain it. So my funda is to basically revise it 1 month before paper, because that at that moment of time you will going to retain it more lightly, because it is a theory part. Some of the part of it you need to mark it up. So that's why I have put it in the category B part. Okay, and when you go for exam, do revise this chapter and cost accounting standards and cost bookkeeping. Most of your theory question will ask from there. Okay, then material cost, the joint and byproducts, and reconciliation of cost accounting records. These are the category B chapter, and rest of them are category C chapter. It's not like that these questions are not asked, but frequency of these chapters are less, so we can basically keep it at for the end. We don't need to leave anything, but we can keep it at the end. Again, one more tip I'm giving you, that you should prepare notes while making doing the first revision. Also prepare the quick notes, which consist of the list of the formulas that you're going to study, because for formulas, this 3 revision thing is not applicable. For formulas, you need to keep it on revising. So please make a small notebook in which you will prepare the list of formulas, so that you will keep on revising whenever you have time. Okay, for n number of times. And also one more tip that I'm sharing, that suppose you are preparing a contract costing chapter, in that you are preparing contract account, you practice n number of question. In each question you get different transaction for debit and credit. So what you can do while taking any new question, if any new transaction came, you put it on your format, make a format in your notes and put it in the format that any other new transaction that came. So after completing the contract costing, when you see that account, that format, you will be able to revise all the questions that you have done. So these kinds of tips and tricks will be shared in the classes. So please join, and please contact us for any query if you have. And if you have any query, you can basically ask right now. Do you have any query, guys? Please ask in chat box or in unmute yourself.
I guess they don't have any queries. So thank you, Priyanka, for this wonderful session, and we will definitely continue again tomorrow at the very same time. Thank you, everyone.